As human beings, we have a tendency to imagine and create the things that our imagination formulates. So many great inventions in the world, like the TV or the light bulb, have come from the imaginations of people. But while the imagination is only restricted by the individual, the ability to create is restricted by reality. For example, if I wanted to showcase something traveling at light speed, I cannot with today's technology. Now, there are some ways to bypass this, as is the case with movies and TV shows. This can be seen with many great movies like Star Wars, not that one, there you go, Avatar, and Batman and Robin, I can't even say it. However, the medium is still restricted by the capabilities of the current technology. Yet, there is one medium that is only restricted by the imagination and the ability of the creator, and maybe some censorship laws, but that's another story. That medium is animation.
You're a bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's right.
Bounty hunters must be the lowest form of life there is.
You know the first rule of combat?
But what exactly is animation? Well, according to Merriam-Webster's Colliget Dictionary 10th edition, animation is the act of animating, the state of being animate or animated. Now, since that's a definition that would get Mrs. Johnson, your 4th grade English teacher, to take away a gold star, let's look at the definition of animate, particularly the verb form. According to the same dictionary, to animate means to give spirit and support to, or to give life to. But why is this important? Well, besides taking up more time and the fact that we need sources, this definition shows the main point of animation: to give life and form to one's own imagination and vision. Animation allows the creator to create anything that their heart desires, as long as it is within the restrictions of their own abilities. However, like other creators, animators are influenced by other things. Like any other medium of creativity, animation is also influenced by other animation. There are two big categories of animation: American
You saved the day again, Woody.
You're my favorite deputy.
and Japanese. Both have influenced each other. But what is the true influencer and what is the true influencee? Are those words? I have no idea. But that's not the point. In order to understand which influenced the other more, we need to know more about the history of animation.
Animation is believed to rely on the phi phenomenon. This phenomenon refers to an optical illusion of perceiving still images in rapid succession at such a speed that it imitates continuous motion. First attempts at animation appeared as early as 3000 BC. The piece believed to be the first form of animation was a Bronze Age pottery vessel found in the ancient settlement of... how do you say that?
I think it's Shari Sukte or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is, in Iran. The vessel depicts many pictures of an animal in different positions that, when put together, makes the animal appear to jump. Another believed attempt at early animation appeared in 1500 AD with Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. The drawing shows multiple angles, which implies movement. The 17th century invention, known as the magic lantern, was an image projector using pictures on a sheet of glass and required a lens and a bright source of light. As some sheets had moving sections, the invention is considered to be one of the first examples of projected animation. The 19th century invention of the thaumatrope. The toy consisted of a disc with an image on either side and two strings at the end. Because the act of spinning the strings made the images appear to be one, it is considered to be a precursor to animation. Another 19th century invention was the phenakistoscope. The phenakistoscope created the illusion of animation by spinning two discs at the same time with the drawings on one disc and openings on the other disc. The phenakistoscope was succeeded by the zoetrope, which was considered better than its predecessor, as multiple people could view it, and it did not require a mirror. The praxinoscope produced a better picture than the other scopes, and used mirrors to project it outward for a public view. The inventor of the praxinoscope was a man named Charles Emile Raynaud, who was responsible for the first projected animated cartoons. J. Stuart Blackton is considered to be the father of American animation for his use of it in films such as The Enchanted Drawing and Humorous Phases of Funny Faces. animator John Randolph Bray produced the debut of Thomas Cat in 1920, which was the first animated film in color. Sadly, there is no surviving videos of this film. Walt Disney's first successful cartoons were known as Alice comedies. Mickey Mouse first appeared on May 15, 1928 in Plane Crazy, in Steamboat Willie on July 29th, and in Gallopin' Gaucho on August 2nd. Steamboat Willie is considered the first cartoon with sound. Walt Disney Animation Studios went on to create groundbreaking animated films such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Fantasia. Sinking in the Bathtub was the first Looney Tune. After which, the creators released a series called Merry Melodies. The first official Looney Tune was Buddy's Day Out. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck were created by Tex Avery, Isidore Frizz Frayling, Bob Clampett, and Chuck Jones. Japanese animation, also known as anime, became popular with Osamu Tezuka's TV series Astro Boy. The medium became more popular with the 1988 cult classic film Akira. Which has influenced many films in the science fiction genre, such as The Matrix and Looper. The 1995 film Ghost in the Shell also heavily influenced the science fiction genre. Hayao Miyazaki, co-founder of Studio Ghibli, has gained acclaim that has earned comparisons with the animations of Walt Disney due to the former's use of incredibly detailed animation.
Totoro?
Miyazaki is responsible for many highly acclaimed films such as My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away,
Now let's go back!
You shouldn't be here. Get out of here, now!
What?
Leave before it gets dark. You've got to get across the river. Go! I'll distract them.
and Howl's Moving Castle.
Moving's done. You can get down now.
Spirited Away won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film.
Lilo and Stitch, Chris Sanders. Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki. Treasure Planet, Ron Clemens. Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki.
In 1979, Pixar, at the time known as the Graphics Group, was created as a division of Lucasfilms. The division was later bought out by Steve Jobs and was eventually made independent in 1986. Pixar and Disney created the first completely computer-generated film, Toy Story, in 1995.
To infinity and beyond! Toy Story.
The second computer-generated film was Ants, which was created by DreamWorks and Pacific Data Images.
Those are some of the high points of the history of animation. As a brief history lesson shows, animation came from all around the world. The question of influence still remains. It is no question that both American animation and Japanese animation have had a large influence on culture and even other mediums like video games and movies. I mean, Disney owns practically everything but their consumers' souls. Or do they? I mean, I love Disney. Personally, every time Circle of Life comes on, I just love to sing it. It is also no question that cultures had an influence on both types of animation. There's anything from Norse mythology to Greek mythology to classic literature found in animation. A few examples are Disney's Alice in Wonderland being based on Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball being based on Journey to the West, and both Disney's Aladdin and, I'm going to butcher this name, Shinobu Otaka's Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, being based on 1001 Nights. But in which way did the different animation styles influence each other? Well, in order to answer that question, the differences must be pointed out. American animation consists of a few relatively expensive shows. This means that American animation has less variety, as most animated shows are either comedies or are aimed at children. Japanese animation, on the other hand, due to the fact that it is based on other source materials like manga, which are Japanese comic books that are aimed at adults and children, or light novels, which are Japanese novels that are primarily aimed at middle and high school students, consists of a large variety of less expensive shows. As such, Japanese animation has different subgenres that are geared towards certain demographics. The demographics are as follows: those aimed at children, those aimed at young males called shonen,
Commence attack!
those aimed at young females called shoujo, those aimed at adolescent males called seinen,
Like what? Bad move.
and those aimed at adolescent females called josei. Because of this, there are many animations that go into adult themes that one would not find in many American animated TV shows, such as murder, rape, horror, psychological instability, and revenge.
Damn you all to hell! I refuse to die like this! I'll drive them all out! Kill them with my bare hands! Do you hear me? With my bare hands!
As well as what can be considered lighthearted themes of friendship and companionship.
You've really done it. You've taken this group of misfits and made them into a strong and loving family.
In the case of visuals, Japanese animation favors large eyes with numerous reflective highlights and detailed color. Anime also favors small noses and mouths with minimal lines, as well as detailed clothes and hair. Japanese animation also features a lot of screaming. I mean, like, a lot of screaming.
Day 2. 3 weeks later. Many months later. 2,000 years later. 1 eternity later.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
American animation favors either comic book style realism or cartoon characteristics with highly exaggerated features. American animation also usually features less attention to detail and shading, as well as tricks of style to imply detail in a subtle fashion. In contrast, however, American animation features more originally animated sequences, while Japanese animation uses many cheats in motion, such as long scenes in which only the character's mouth moves while giving key information. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the influences that they had on each other. Shinichiro Watanabe, the creator of Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo, has stated that he was influenced by American movies. Quote, "I grew up with US movies, so it made me very happy that Americans liked my things, because I was raised on their things in a way." End quote. This influence can be found in two of his most famous shows, as stated before. Cowboy Bebop, which was influenced by American westerns, Hong Kong crime movies, and the jazz era, hence the name Cowboy Bebop.
I thought you liked jazz.
Don't be dense. I started wailing the blues when the doctor whacked my bottom on the day I was born.
A baby hipster, very cool.
And Samurai Champloo, which was influenced by hip-hop.
Loony cause the mountain's haunted by Yoshitsune. Oh, it's gotta be the ghost.
Yoshitsune.
Yeah, boy.
Yo, he's an ice cold sucker, killed 1,000 mighty men. Yeah!
That wasn't him.
He's so fast coming up on your ass, gonna knock you in the air cause he's jumping everywhere in your face.
Osamu Tezuka, see? That's how you pronounce that name, Ryan! The man who is considered the godfather of manga and who influenced other animators such as Akira Toriyama and Hayao Miyazaki, stated that his art was influenced by Disney. The use of large eyes in anime and manga is credited to Tezuka's use of it in Astro Boy. Tezuka cited
Bertie Boop
and characters from Bambi for this trope. Tezuka has also stated that he was influenced by American comics. Quote, speaking of myself, when it comes to comics from 1947 or 48, for the next 15 or 16 years, I was heavily influenced by American comics. End quote. Name butchering part 2, Brian Kohn Izuko and Michael Dante DiMartino, the creators of the American animated TV series Avatar: The Last Airbender, have stated that they were influenced by the movies of Hayao Miyazaki. Quote, the best anime balances great action sequences with humor and emotion, something we try to do on Avatar. We love all the films of Hayao Miyazaki, especially Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke. Both movies deal with spirituality and the environment in an entertaining way. Also, there's a lot of great animation. Famous manga artist Akira Toriyama, who is most famous for the manga and anime Dragon Ball, has stated that he was influenced by Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy as well as Disney's 101 Dalmatians. John Lasseter, the chief creative officer of Pixar Animation Studios, has stated that the films of Hayao Miyazaki have influenced him as an animator. Quote, they have moved me, they have inspired me, and they have helped shape me as a filmmaker. End quote.
Two figures whose contributions to our art form place them above all others. The first is Walt Disney. The second is Hayao Miyazaki. In Japan, Miyazaki-san is considered a national treasure. Unquestionably, the most respected and important figure in Japanese cinema today.
Masashi Kishimoto, the creator of the manga and anime series Naruto, has cited Akira Toriyama as an influence. He has also stated that the movies of Quentin Tarantino and Michael Bay influenced the storytelling and action sequences of his works.
If I hadn't had this, I'd have been dead. What's that? You really have gotten stronger, Sasuke.
These examples appear to be leaning more towards the side of American animation as the influencer. However, there is one main source for nearly all the examples. That source is Disney. Disney is huge in the animation industry and has been around for a while. As such, many animators are prone to be influenced by the works of Disney. Animation in itself is, like any other medium, built upon the foundation of the past. Each time something new comes around, the foundation is further built upon and continues to be built upon as new animators come along. No animator would regress to only use a certain influence. It would be like if there was a ladder with blue and red rungs, and instead of just climbing it, you would jump to another similar ladder so as only to touch one color. You see, animation is a very influential medium. Even parents use certain types of animation to educate their children, like Ni-Hao Kai Lan or Dora the Explorer. Even though I hate their shows because they never answer back when you tell them where to go! Sorry. So, other animators are, of course, prone to be influenced by animation as well. In the end, it doesn't really matter what influenced whom. All that matters is that the medium has created many beautiful works of art. The medium has truly tapped into the imaginations of both creators and the viewers. Animation is making dreams into reality. In the words of the man himself, Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can do it. Always remember that this whole thing was started with a dream and a mouse.